It's time to talk about our last priority, number 4, profitability. You might be thinking, what the heck does profitability have to do with me as an hourly team member? Well, stick with me for a second, I think you'll see. So we have to start by talking about our mission, fund growth and create financial prosperity. Now, when we talk about that financial prosperity, we're talking about the opportunity that every single person in MPH has to work through the development path and eventually become an owner-operator in the restaurant. Our owner-operator's base pay is $80,000 plus the 19% profit in that restaurant, which is about $50,000. So we're talking $130,000 of income for us to just be what the public likes to call a bunch of burger flippers. It's pretty awesome. That 19% of the restaurant is valued at about $300,000 and we only charge $65,000, of which you only need to put $5,000 down to start. So for a lot of hard work and $5,000, you can own your own restaurant. And if it sounds too good to be true, we already have 6 owner-operators in MPH and 3 more going through class right now. So if you don't believe it, find the owner in your restaurant and talk to them because it's real. Now the other half of that goal is to fund growth. To build these restaurants takes millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars down each time. So all of our restaurants have to keep hitting those numbers and keep being profitable so that we can keep this train going. So how are we going to do this? Well, our 2024 goals are these. First, combined valuation earnings over $4 million. Now, our restaurants this year are going to do a little over $50 million in sales. So that $4 million is only 8% of that being left after all the expenses, which just goes to show that every little thing counts so we can keep being profitable, keep opening restaurants, and keep this thing going. The next goal, which is really a part of how we're going to make that happen, combined prime cost under 56%. Our prime cost is when you add our food cost and add our labor, and it's somewhere in that mid-50s% range, which is really crazy. We have dozens and dozens of expenses in the restaurant, but those two combine for over 50% of them. So it just goes to show how important those two really are. Okay, so how are we going to help with this? First is to optimize accounting systems. Late last year, we hired our new financial controller, Sandy Brock, who is incredible, and she's already made such a huge difference. And those systems are just going to continue to get better this year. Things will get digital, things will get streamlined, and overall just better. Next is our operating partners' involvement and knowledge of financials. If you flash back to 5 years ago, nobody really knew much of anything, but now all the owner-operators have access to the financials to know every detail of what's happening in the business. And last is consistent feedback and communication. If you're one of those operating partners or one of the leaders in your restaurant, you're going to be hearing about these things all the time so that we can make sure we're doing the best job we can. Okay, our in-restaurant focuses. Again, if you're an hourly team member, you might be thinking, what the heck does this have to do with me? Well, this first in-restaurant focus is huge. It really depends on you. The food and labor control. Our food and labor control, again, they make up over 50% of our expenses. With food, we're used to seeing a few $1,000s of food get wasted every single month. So every little thing we can do helps. Now think about custard. If we sent out every single item of custard with just an extra ounce, not that much, just that extra ounce, but we're selling tens of thousands of items of custard every month. So it all adds up to hundreds of dollars just going to waste. The other thing is labor. We've all been a part of a shift where there's so many people, you're just bumping into everybody and you can't seem to even do your job efficiently. Well, those are the things that we want to avoid to keep these things down. And last is to minimize unnecessary spending, which is mostly for our leaders, not overspending on things like uniforms and supplies and anything else we might need. But as team members, what can really help is just taking care of all the equipment that we have. Those things can get incredibly, ridiculously expensive. So taking care of them so that we don't need to get them repaired or replaced is huge. And it really helps us back to our mission, fund growth, and create financial prosperity for you. So thank you guys for checking this out. If you missed the other videos, go check those out too. It's the last priority, so we're done with this little series. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys have taken something from it and can see where we're headed this year. It's going to be the best year yet. Again, thank you. Have a great weekend and go Chiefs.